Good afternoon, YouTube. It's morning here, Central Indiana, July 31st, and I am in the process of prepping my food plot. I just want to show you guys what I do. It's not the right way. It's not the only way. It is a way to be able to attract some deer to your and through the magic power of video. 2 hours later, just over an acre completely tilled. I have another food plot that I am going to at least get half of it complete today before I move on to the others. I will probably, excuse me, I will probably let this dry out today. Haven't looked at the weather yet. If rain is coming, then I will get the seed out here quickly this evening and see over there in the shaded and lower areas with felt sticks leveled out today. It's partially why it took so long. We got 1 acre tilled, 2 more acres to do, and 3 acres of seed to get in the ground, which is really a little less than what I should have, but I've got a lot of projects going on right now, so you can only do so much. We're now in my center plot, which is virtually, oops, there went a deer. I don't know if you guys can see that. This plot sits in the rear center of the 60-acre parcel that I own. And it's only about maybe I can get up to 2.5 acres, but I'll give you a spread. It's long, narrow, like you want your plots so that you have shots across them. It lies around an island here that was just some junk. I cut down about 10 small trees out of there and let them coppice. I've got them probably piled incorrectly in there, but there's passageways in and out of that area, and they're in there all the time feeding, probably bedding too. That's why you don't want to walk through your food plots once season's in. You just really want to stay away from them so the deer feel comfortable. Catch them on their way to and from the food plots, and you'll be way better off. You'll start to see a big difference in quantity and quality of deer that you see. But anyways, I'm gonna get to work here, and we'll see you when I'm done. I'll probably only do this long front section today. Now that is a rear tine tiller, so you only need to till once with it because you're tilling twice. It throws it ahead of itself and cuts it numerous times. It makes it much easier than one of them cheap tillers that you may get that's just you basically got to till twice because it doesn't run over it a second time. It just throws it out the back. That's why that one's got such a large box. the magic power of editing. I decided to do it all. But just a tiny strip. I know it probably looks more than that. Say just over an acre. Probably 1.25. I'll Google Earth it later and put the image in the footage. But like I said, I'm gonna just leave these. It's not the best, but I'm gonna leave this tilled. Let the soil dry out just a tiny bit. And then I'll come through and broadcast seed. Probably a couple different ones back here. Purple top through a portion, and probably peas. I feel like they'll get eaten up pretty quick. And with the power video, it's the next day, and gonna do some seeding. This is a 1 acre food plot, so we're gonna do some testing. I'm gonna plant a 1/2 acre of evolved harvest 7-card stud. Done well with that. And for the other 1/2 acre, I'm going to do a combination of Deer Creek Select Harvest Purple Top Turnip. I got enough in here for about 1.25 acres. And Mossy Oaks Biologic Deer Radish. That's 1/4 acre. I'll mix in with the purple top turnip so that there's some diversity within the monoculture. And we'll get to it. I just use this yard tip hand spreader, and I plant about 3 to 4 acres of food plots a year, depending on my availability. And this year we're looking at about the same. Pretty simple stuff. Alright folks, welcome back. I didn't get to finish seeding the rest of what I call the middle food plot yesterday. This portion is 2.25 pounds. We're planting 2.25 pounds of mossy oak biologic, which is 55% green globe turnip, 35% Biora rape, some sugar beets 5%, and another type of rape seed, so brassicas. It's a brassica blend. I was going to add some purple top to it, but since there's none in it, I'm going to compare and contrast to what will be solely purple top turnip in the third food plot. That was pretty much live action. It didn't take long to do that at all. Didn't do a count, but about 100 yards by 30 yards. It gets bigger than that, but like I said, it comes around both sides of this little island, which I cut down all the poplar trees. And there's a lot of bush honeysuckle in there now too. I ripped out a bunch, but lots of deer be foraging and bedding in that little area right there. But anyway, biologics, turnip and rape. We'll call it Brassica blend. I'm not sure what the title was. And over here we got evolved harvest peas, sweet pea or whatever their branding is on it. But I hope to do a good compare and contrast and see which the deer favor. I've done well with brassicas here. Alright folks, we're going to do a little bit different method in food plot number 3 this year. A lot of you that have even been available to come across this, which is probably like 100 people, will note that Jeff Sturgis has a method similar to this. And I'm just trying it out here. It's been a test plot for the last couple of years and hasn't done very well. Primarily due to my upkeep, I'm sure. So, anyway, I sprayed this once this year. You can see this part shaded quite a bit, although it grows very well from where we started through here under the right soil conditions. Which that area looks like it's been in some water, a couple water areas that nothing's going to grow in, but I'm going to focus a little bit farther back this year. And I do this, I've honestly never even hunted this plot, but I do it so that they have safety, because the cover and the shelter around here makes it hard to get in a tree stand, and it's the sanctuary that I give them, because it's fucking pertinent and hard pardon my French, to even access this without getting picked off along the way because it's on the far corner from my access. There's the winter bulbs I just planted. Now, I'm glad they have this feature here. As promised, or stated, show you how For the ride. We can see what some of last year's crop had maintained. There's the purple top. still thriving. They reseed themselves and everything, but the tonnage isn't there. I'm not sure how we could successfully keep that germination process going. All here too, most of these companies really do not do that. You don't have to plant it every year. If you miss a year, get in there and knock down the high stuff and let the low stuff grow, especially if you knock it out early. And you'll have something that your neighbors probably don't have. This didn't take very long today. Total